At present, there are approximately or over 10,000 people plus whose FOID cards, concealed carry licenses, and other statuses have been revoked and remain presently revoked because of this situation, clear and present danger. If I have to think about it objectively, I think that was a very smart move by Director Kelly.
What's going on, you? This is Instructor Mike. You can follow me on Facebook at Mike Brown or Instructor Mike. Follow me on
It could be you as a citizen, and you walked up and you see somebody. It look heavy? I don't know. Special, that must be. But it's good to know that this can handle the high pressure rounds of the flooding.
Ready to go. Make eye contact with me. He's still trying to get it open a couple of times.
So chill.
In August of 2022, right? Those of you all who know about what happened in July of 2022, Robert Tight Pants Cremo, I shouldn't say his name like that, right? But Robert Cremo climbed atop a roof in the northern village of Highland Park, a town that had an assault weapons ban ordinance at the time of the incident. Robert Cremo climbed on top of a roof and in the midst of a 4th of July parade decided to shoot his AR-15 variant at parade goers during the 4th of July parade. I was on scene during the aftermath sometime thereafter. And the Illinois State Police came under fire for the clear and present danger issue that was later discovered when the Illinois State Police received a clear and present danger report from the Highland Park Police Department stating that Robert Cremo alleged to say he was going to hurt himself and or others. The Illinois State Police did follow-up investigation, but the family would not cooperate or did not provide any information to give the state police a reason to actually deny him future consideration for having a FOID, because he didn't have a FOID then. I believe he was only 19. When he turned 21 years of age, I think his father got the FOID card for him. The details are sketchy. They're not sketchy. I just don't remember all of them. Either way, he got a FOID card, and he was able to legally purchase and possess the rifle that was used on that day. And pursuant to that, because of the rules that were in place at the time, the rules that were in place by the Illinois State Police stated that pretty much it had to have some evidence or some teeth in order for them to be able to revoke a person's FOID card under Section 8F of the FOID Card Act. Remember, we read that section. What did that section say? If it is the case that it is believed that you pose a clear and present danger to yourself, other persons, or the public. That's Chapter 430, Illinois Compiled Statutes, Act 65, Section 8, which is the revocations or denials section, specifically 8F, clear and present danger. So given that we were in the midst of a gubernatorial election, that's fancy speak for governor election, and given the fact that the Illinois State Police is not an elected law enforcement official, he serves at the will and pleasure of the governor. Given that this is the case, right, they are both, in essence, at that time under fire. Both jobs are up for election appointment, you get it. So the Illinois State Police created emergency rules that allowed them to amend the rules that were in place to where just a little dragon's breath of a hint that you're a clear and present danger, and they can revoke your FOID card, which then automatically revokes your concealed carry card and any other statuses attributed to that. And this happened in August. At present, there are approximately or over 10,000 people plus whose FOID cards, concealed carry licenses, and other statuses have been revoked and remain presently revoked because of this situation, clear and present danger. What you all may not know is there is a FOID card appeals board that is set to go live January 1st, 2023. The specific statute is Chapter 430, Illinois Compiled Statutes, Act 65, Section 10. The statute was created and signed into law September of 2022. And so, what you all have already heard of the Concealed Carry Licensing Review Board. They exist to review appeals for denials or even returns in certain cases of concealed carry licenses. Well, this Firearm Owners Identification Card Review Board does the same thing except for FOID cards. And so there was a lot of turmoil, upset, whatever the case may be, because in this enactment of these emergency rules, the Illinois State Police grandfathered and went back retroactively to 6+ years of people who have had reports that have previously been listed as unfounded. The Illinois State Police overturned those findings and then issued revocations. I will affectionately call this a reverse and remanding back to its status. So then I begin to look at it and I begin to examine, does this even make sense? I got to give credit where credit is due. I've got to sit here and get Director Kelly his props. Let me tell you why. The issue of clear and present danger is purely administrative. Purely. But in fairness, is Director Kelly, Chief Schmidt now, who's used to be Director Schmidt, are any of them qualified mental health professionals to look at a mental health evaluation from someone who said you're okay? Look at the record, the facts and circumstances, the reports, the medical records. If you've ever done a mental health appeal, which I have for people going through these issues, do you think these people at the Illinois State Police are qualified to analyze mental health and medical records? Have you ever tried to look at a chart? Doctor's handwriting? Do you think that, we're talking about constitutional violation. Would you want them looking at those records and making that determination? Right? Would you want that? I know I wouldn't. Let's be fair. Right? And then let's talk about the other half. Yeah, they're not even qualified. So thinking like a lawyer, because let's just say the governor, yeah, and then if they do, then it's up to their interpretation. Do you want police officers interpreting the records of a qualified mental health professional who is more qualified in that area than the police are? And so thinking like a lawyer, which I am not, and this is not legal advice, thinking like a lawyer, which Brendan Kelly is. He is an Illinois licensed attorney. He was state's attorney. I forgot for what county. I want to say St. Clair. He was a state's attorney, the state's attorney. Thinking like a lawyer. I could see him saying, well, I'm not even qualified to speak to any of those issues. I'm not qualified to speak to that. And since I'm not qualified to speak to it, my agency isn't qualified to analyze it. If the director of the Illinois State Police, the chief law enforcement officer underneath the Illinois Attorney General, the Illinois Attorney General isn't even qualified to speak to it. So the Illinois Attorney General isn't qualified to speak to it, and the state police director isn't qualified to speak to it, who in the state police is? They might have some doctors on payroll doing other things, but that's not their function. So give it to a group of people separate from the Illinois State Police and let them choose, just like you do with the Concealed Carry License Review Board. And if you look at the statistics and the reality, there are a lot of objections to people getting their concealed carry. But do you know the Concealed Carry Licensing Review Board actually overturns a lot of objections to people's licenses? So the Concealed Carry Licensing Review Board is doing a great job. I know. I see the results. So what makes us think the FOID Card Licensing Review Board isn't going to do a great job? If I have to think about it objectively, I think that was a very smart move by Director Kelly. I think that was a very smart move by Director Kelly. So for those of y'all who are holding on to appeals for clear and present danger, I think 2023 will be the beginning, provided you did what you were supposed to do. I think January, February will be the time you'll get your stuff back. I mean, understand the politics of it. You've been pissed off for 4 or 5 months. Hopefully you found something to do during that time. But I think when the Concealed Carry Review Board gets back up and JB's still in office, right? Win-win, right? Now, if you're really crazy, you don't need shit. You need help. Get the help you need, and then let some time pass. You'll be able to get back to doing it. All right? All right, you all. Please. Thank you all for watching.
What's going on, you? This is Instructor Mike. You can follow me on Facebook at Mike Brown or Instructor Mike. Follow me
It
on
could be you as a citizen, and you walked up and you see somebody. It look heavy? I don't know. Special, that must be. But it's good to know that this can handle the high pressure rounds of the flooding.
Ready to go. Make eye contact with me. He's still trying to get it open a couple of times.
So chill.